Hi you guys, if you want to learn how to make my easy and delicious shrimp and grits, stay tuned. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is work on our grits because it's going to take the longest. Although these are quick grits, I think that's supposed to cook in 5 to 10 minutes. I like to cook my grits for at least 20 to 25 minutes, okay? Here I am not measuring, I'm just kind of eyeballing how much grits I need, and I'm looking to see if I have enough liquid in. You can use any type of liquid you want. I'm using water, but you can certainly use chicken stock for an extra flavor boost. So I'm just going to go ahead and give it a good whisk, put the top on, and let it cook low and slow. And while my grits are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and work on my bacon here. I think I have about 3 or 4 strips of bacon that I chopped up, and I'm going to go ahead and let that render and get nice and crispy. And while our bacon is cooking, we're going to go ahead and season our shrimp, and I'm just using that Old Bay blackened seasoning, and I'm also going to be using the Tony Chachere's Creole seasoning. I'm also going to be using a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder, and then I'm going to set these to the side until I'm ready to cook them. Once we're done seasoning our shrimp, we're going to go ahead and take that bacon out. It is nicely rendered and very crispy. We're going to take them out and put them on a lined plate. Now, we're not going to let that bacon grease go to waste. We're going to go ahead and start our gravy. And here I'm putting a little bit of onion. These are frozen onion. I don't like a whole lot of onion in my gravy, so I'm not using a lot. We're going to go ahead and stir that around and let that start to get nice and soft. So while our onions are doing its thing, we're going to go ahead and check on our grits and give it a good stir. You always want to stir your grits periodically while they are cooking. This will help prevent your grits from being lumpy. Okay, so now that our grits are pretty much done at this point, we're going to go ahead and season them up nicely and add in some more creaminess to the grits. So we're going to add in a couple tablespoons of butter and some heavy cream and give that a good stir until everything is nicely combined. And y'all, that if you haven't tried a little bit of heavy cream in your grits, please try it. It does give it an extra like richness and creaminess. I love adding that heavy cream into my grits. So we're going to also season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. You don't want to go too ham on the salt because it's so easy to over salt grits. And then we're going to also add in some cheese. If you have, I'm using just a regular cheese, cheddar cheese blend, but if you have like Havarti or smoked Gouda or even a white cheddar, those are great alternatives to put in your grits. They are super yummy in grits. So now you can see the difference. Our grits are super creamy and it was so delicious. Of course, I tasted my grits to make sure I didn't need any extra seasoning. Okay. I just put the lid back on so it'll stay warm until we are ready to serve. So now we're going to move back to our gravy, and our onions are nice and soft at this point. I added in a tablespoon of butter, and I'm also going to be adding in a tablespoon of flour so we can create our roux. We're going to cook that flour out for a few minutes until we get that raw flavor out, and then we're going to add in our chicken stock. You can add water or any other liquid you want. I'm adding chicken stock, and just like the video I did a couple months ago with the smothered chicken, if you guys haven't checked that out, I will leave that in the description below. But when you are making gravy, you have to make sure that you are whisking and stirring the whole entire time that you are pouring in your stock, okay? So you won't create a lumpy gravy. While our gravy is simmering and thickening up, we're going to go ahead and cook our shrimp, and you guys know this only takes a few minutes tops. You don't want overcooked shrimp, so we're just going to toss these around until they're cooked, and they look just like this. They're nice and pink and they are ready to go. So now we're going to go ahead and season our gravy that has been simmering. A little garlic powder, onion powder, that Old Bay seasoning, that Tony Chachere's seasoning, and a little salt and pepper. We're going to give that a nice stir, and of course you're going to taste your gravy to make sure that you don't need any additional seasoning. You guys, taste your food, taste your food, taste your food. Okay, so once our gravy is good to go, we're going to go ahead and add our shrimp in just like so. So after giving my shrimp a good toss, I'm going to add in a half a can of crab meat, you guys. And this is what takes this gravy, this whole dish over the top for me, is that added crab meat. It is just so delicious, you guys. I'm going to give that a gentle toss as well, and of course garnish with parsley, and then we are going to be ready to plate. Of course, we're going to garnish with that crispy bacon that we made earlier and a little more parsley. And that is it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. This dish was super delicious, you guys. This was so good. You guys have to give this recipe a try. The grits were super creamy. The gravy was nice and silky and flavorful. The shrimp were nice and tender and juicy. And that crab meat just took it over the top, you guys. And of course, that bacon. You have to have bacon when you do shrimp and grits, okay? Once again, I thank you guys so much for clicking and watching. I appreciate every last one of you. Leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all on the next one. Until then, bye.